Hey everybody, this is Bridget with Purcell Strong Life. I'm here talking to you about my third trimester for my second pregnancy. So this was just a vlog of sorts, and I'm a couple weeks past giving birth, so I just wanted to tell you how that third trimester went, what kind of symptoms I had, and all of those things, and all the questions that I typically go over. So I have my handy phone with my notes, and let's just get to it. So this time around, I had a winter pregnancy last time, so this is a summer pregnancy, and the heat is definitely, it definitely got to me. Turned on all the AC units. My hands were swelling. I had to take off my wedding band and put it on a necklace, and all those sorts of things. I would just get hot really easily. Yeah, it was really nice in the winter with my first pregnancy because I didn't have to wear a jacket. But this pregnancy, I just could not get cool enough. So that was definitely a big change, a big difference between the two. I was still having crazy dreams in my third trimester. In one of them, I protected my best friend from a gunman with a frying pan in front of her face. I don't know where all these crazy dreams come from, but yeah, it was not fun. I had lots of cramping, so like feet, calf, hamstrings. I usually get a lot of foot cramps because I hold a lot of tension there, and if I work out really hard, my feet kind of cramp up. But I was getting them in my hamstrings, and I never used to get them in there. So that was interesting. Having to go to the bathroom a ton in the middle of the night, and also having to go to the bathroom like 5 minutes after just going, thinking that I would need to go again, and like nothing really came out, but my bladder was just so compressed. It was just very uncomfortable. I was waddling at the end just because baby was so low. Just got very, very uncomfortable. I had a few Braxton Hicks. Just one day my belly was just tight the entire day, and it was so strange, like not cramping and not contractions, but just my belly felt so tight one day, and another day, several days after, I just felt extremely heavy in my belly. Just very strange. Very strange. Had some constipation, but not as much as the second trimester, which I told you about in the last video. I still had a little bit of acid reflux, especially after drinking coffee, but I wasn't going to give that up. But it got a ton better, and I eventually got off my acid reflux meds, and I didn't have any big adverse effects, so it was fine just to keep staying off of that. So I mentioned waddling a ton, just moving very slow at the end, not very agile, hard getting up and off of the floor. Thankfully, my 2.5-year-old, I was able to blame it on the baby. Like, mommy can't do this because of the baby. Mommy can't run because of the baby. And I would say, yeah, mommy can't do that. And my son would say, because of baby. So it just became the excuse every time. And it was just, I got to be really slow. Yeah. You know how a turtle gets, this is a very awesome analogy, but you know how a turtle gets when it's stuck on its back on the shell and it can't get up? That's how I felt often. That's how I felt often. So just not very limber, very stiff. I tried I tried pushing through and doing a lot of exercising, and then near the end, I realized I should probably stop pushing because I get so worn out the next day, it just drains me. So then I figured, you know what, maybe just do some yoga, do some light stretching, and that actually made me feel better, mostly in the moment, but some afterwards too. So it just felt good to stay moving, even though it wasn't intense like how I like intense workouts a lot of the times, but I couldn't do that near the end. So some yoga helped to keep me as loose as possible. Um, yeah. Oh, and for those that care, um, my weight gain for this third trimester was about 18 pounds. So overall, I gained about 40 pounds. So give or take if that's a lot or if that's a little, but just thought you should know. Everybody's journey is different. Um, as long as it's healthy weight and your doctor is not concerned, and you're trying to eat well and eat healthy, your body's going to do what it's going to do. So, I mean, you could try to starve yourself to not gain as much weight, but then you're miserable. And I'm not all about being miserable. And I that's not healthy, obviously. It's not healthy to starve yourself. And so your body is going to take what it needs to take. So you just have to listen to your body, eat when it's hungry, stop when it's full, and that's the best way that I have learned how to eat. Um, yeah, so that's how much I gained, and it took me 9 months to get there, so I know it's going to take me a long time to try to get it off, and that's okay. I grew a baby, and that's no small feat, and if you're in the same boat, try not to dwell on that because your body is working overtime. So if you're trying to exercise really hard, if you're trying to watch everything that you eat, maybe give yourself grace and think, you know what, my body is working overtime to grow this baby. How about I don't work in opposition of it, but work together with it so that the pregnancy and the baby can be it can be a healthy experience, and the baby can be healthy. And and then once you have your body to yourself, you know, when the baby's out, then you can try to start doing something. But if you're breastfeeding afterwards, your body could still be holding on to the weight for fat stores for the baby. So a lot of people suggest not trying to lose weight until after you're done breastfeeding, or like 6 months after giving birth. So that's just my 2 cents. Yeah, so that's a tangent. Moving on. I told you about how exercise was going. I was trying to go all out, and it was good at the beginning of the third trimester, but near the middle and the end, I would just get super tired afterwards. Even the next day I would feel it, and not like a good sore. It was I overdid it, and I was reaping the consequences. So I learned to back off the last couple of weeks. It takes me a while. I'm kind of stubborn and bullheaded, but I realized that I shouldn't push myself more than I need to because my body's working overtime, like I just said, and just try to feed back into my body instead of stress it out and take away from it. So anyway, that's how exercise was going. I did some yoga near the end. That was just nice to get some limberness and some movement, and so that helped. Oh, how was the baby's room shaping up before we had the baby? So this is our second child, so we didn't have a shower or anything, and so we used a lot of the same things from our first child, and we got the crib together, we got the dresser, we washed some clothes, but we didn't know the gender of this baby, and so I had to have some gender neutral stuff to come home from the hospital with, and also to get going until we knew what gender the baby was. We had boy clothes from the first child, and then we had a few gender neutral things, but it's kind of just up in the air, and we had to wash clothes that we may or may not have used later. So it was interesting. It was fun. Yeah. So, but it came together. We didn't do anything to the walls or anything. I think I'll still try to, I don't know, purchase a decal or something and put on the walls. But the baby's room, we just got the furniture together and got some clothes ready, and we got some diapers ready. So that's about it. So it came together fine. Yeah, nothing too extravagant or crazy. So there you go. I still think it's a girl? So going back to my 3rd trimester brain, before I knew what the sex of the baby was, I did think it was a girl, because I didn't gain as much weight with this one as I did with the first one. And so in my head I was thinking girls don't take as many calories as the boys. The baby was not as crazy active as my first child. My first child would just soccer punch me constantly, and this baby just kind of moved around, but it wasn't intense like the first one. So I thought less energetic. Sometimes that's usually a girl. So that was my inkling. I'll let you know in the next video, my postpartum video, what the gender actually was. So you'll have to wait for that one. Okay. So yeah, thought it was a girl and was just convinced. So how is the toddler doing in preparation? As far as preparation can go for a toddler, we would talk to the baby all the time. We would kiss the baby. We would include it in conversation. So my son knew the baby was coming, knew about it, and I mean, whether he realized it or not, what that would entail, that's hard to say, but we tried talking about the baby all the time. And so he got his mind around that there was going to be a baby coming, and we would talk about the baby coming out and how Grandma and Grandpa were going to keep him once the baby comes out. So he was really excited for when the baby came so he could go visit Grandma and Grandpa. So he was like, "Is the baby coming today?" I said, "No, not today." So that was fun. That was a fun. He didn't really care if the baby was coming or not. He just wanted to go visit Grandma and Grandpa and go swim in the pool and all those things. So that was cute. Yeah. So, and then, did I have any cravings? I really wanted more protein. That's kind of what I wanted, and just different forms of protein. So I also wanted like carbs, like breads and stuff, which I usually want bread and stuff anyway. So I don't know if that's a craving, but the protein, that was more so than usual. So yeah. So that was my 3rd trimester. You'll have to tune in for the next video for my postpartum vlog. I think I'll do it maybe around the 6-week mark when I go get my checkup, and then I'll tell you about the gender and how the birth went, and how the toddler is adjusting to the baby. So yeah, if you have any questions, you can drop them below. And if you want to be the first to know about these videos, hit subscribe, and I can't wait to see you in the next video. Alright,